What's that? It looks like the end of a used Q-tip. The guy looks like he could really use a visit to Supercuts. If the thought of how he might look underneath didn't cause you to involuntarily retch, you might even have paid. This guy looks like he should be standing watch around one of those barrels. He has a bit of a nervous look about him. Here's a hint. Avoid direct contact with beings with personal hygiene worse than your own.
Hey! I wonder if you... Nah, what was I thinking? Hey! Buddy, maybe you can help me out. I'm trying to track down this endodroid. I'm an endodroid runner. I know it don't look so hot, but I'm in disguise, you know?
In disguise? Yeah, you do look disguised. I just don't know what like. Hey, here's a tip. Think seriously about a flea dip.
I could really use your help getting this one. I've had a hell of a time tracking him down. You've gotta help me. Tell you what, if you can find and immobilize this bionic beer opener, it's worth 50 buckazoids to you. What do you say to that? I've scoured this dung heap. I haven't seen synthetic hide nor hair of him. All that's left to check is that bar. I'd go in there myself, you see, but I've had a little misunderstanding with the management. No biggie. I'm sure it'll blow over soon. Anyway, can you help me out? What do you say? 50 buckazoids. And if you don't mind me saying it, you look like you could use it. So how about it?
Well, I don't know. What's this endodroid thing look like? And why do you want it?
Well, he's about your height, only maybe a few inches higher. And I'd say about your weight, give or take 60 pounds or so. But then that's just probably because of that stuff he's made of. Kind of a liquid metal thing, but that's not important. He's got a crew cut, and I think he was wearing a long, dark coat. Has a strange accent.
But why do you want him?
Oh, he made some people mad.
How?
Oh, I guess he sort of jumped out of his program and kind of killed and/or mangled a score or so of co-workers and, more importantly, management personnel. A big no-no. No big deal. I just gotta take him in for analysis and processing. It could help pull me out of my, unfortunate cash flow situation. And most importantly, it can mean 50 buckazoids for you. What do you say?
Well, I could use the buckazoids. I'll see what I can do.
Great. You won't regret it. You're gonna need this data quarter. It's been modified to only be sensitive to certain unique components like droidium, something only an endodroid would be composed of. This'll help you root him out. Good luck. Let me know when you've got him. Thanks. I gotta go check in with the home office. I'll check back out here a little later to see how you're coming along.
Hey!
Just find the endodroid, little guy. I'll talk to you later.
Hey!
He gives you a long look, then exhibits a facial expression not unlike that of one who has just found some special treat stuck underneath the table. No, can it be? It is. It's Elmo Pug, the former CEO of Scumsoft. Hard times have hit him like a ball-peen hammer between the, eyes. Maybe there is a karma ferry. Impressed by his own perceived magnificence, this wannabe babe magnet stands and just radiates cool. Oh, he's real, unfortunately. Can't you see he's working the room here? He's expecting a babe stampede any minute now. His lifespan, no matter how long, will never be enough. But hey, a guy can dream. You probably wonder where that goes. Well, that wasn't too bad for a borderline physical specimen like you. It didn't quite get the job done, though. Nah, you still haven't convinced the door to yield to your obviously superior physical presence. Wow, you really did it! Not exactly the subtlest of entry techniques, but effective. That's pretty macho for the likes of you. Who would have guessed you'd have the makings of a Starsky or a Hutch, or a Tango or a Cash?
You go now, and I don't rearrange your organs.
It's the endodroid, and he's repairing himself. Yuck.
Hey there. So, what's up? Pretty crappy weather we're having, don't you think? Wow, so what's with the hole in your arm? That's gotta sting. My, you're a tall one. Is there something I can do for you?
The second floor of the nightclub does justice to the first. How trendy. Cargo ship grating seems to have been used in an artsy fashion to create flooring for the loft area. It must be pretty interesting below when someone up here rejects whatever substances they may have consumed over the previous couple of hours. Wow, fancy. The booths contain some of the more low-key patrons. They seem to be occupied, and there's no desire on their part to have you join them. Perhaps they've had their laugh for the day. Ah, the simple things in life. The elevator ride. To get to the planet, you were scanned down to the subatomic particle, transmitted hundreds of kilometers, and then reconstituted in just the same unfortunate fashion in which you were scanned. Despite the incredible technological feat that represents, your big thrill so far on the trip has been the elevator ride. Simple is, as simple does. The walls up here maintain the same conduit theme as below. He looks lonely, but not enough for your company. Woof, woof. Adventure game stress must really be getting to you if you want to get romantic with that. My, aren't we frisky today? Get your own drink. These guys are a nicely matched set. They seem to be amusing each other to a very high degree. A pair of hefty doofies stand at the rail and just seem to giggle a lot. He ignores you. Get used to it. This guy looks like he just got back from Cybernam. Look at him. I wouldn't mess with him if I were you. In this case, I'd suggest you just talk to yourself. Wow, this sucker makes even you look like GQ material. Why don't you just walk up and say, "Hey, mister, I've always wanted to catch a really good look at the inside of my colon. Perhaps you can help me." You drool in that direction, but no one notices. These nitro suckers come in all types. They're all drawing on the hoses. Amazingly, they don't freeze. They just glaze over for a few moments while the others laugh. This one has a tattoo which says, "I love Lula." Your complexion's nothing to write Mary Kay about anyway. Why risk exposure to that? You aren't certain, but it's quite possible you were invited to establish an inordinately close relationship with yourself. Perhaps I misunderstood. A waitress hovers about, tray in claw, tending to the upstairs clientele. It makes decent tips, especially for a synthetic being. As with some other tables, a large tank marked liquid nitrogen sits beneath the center. It feeds the hookah manifold above. A set of hoses are within reach for each being which might be perched there. Do you have a death wish or what? That's not a good idea. Trust me. You can tell by the serious nature of their laughter that they're real impressed by your fake ID. Fortunately, they're just faced enough not to want to reshape you.
Gee, she looks pretty busy right now. Maybe I should wait until she's done with that table.
Howdy, dollface. What can I get you?
Nothing right now, thanks.
Okay, you just let me know if you change your mind, hon.
You quite cleverly paste your picture over the old one on the ID card. You hear them say, "Geez, our skimmer's double hovered. We gotta run." Several lengths of tubing lead from a valve array atop the tank, allowing simultaneous access to its contents. You snag the 4 hoses. Never know when you're going to meet that special lady. Gee, an empty booth. Perhaps you should clean it. The druggies are gone, leaving a partially used nitro tank. The canister snaps neatly into the conduit opening. Nitro begins to flow through the tubing and into the conduit. Hey, that nitro's coming out through this conduit. Better shut the tank off before it's all wasted. It's a twisted mass of hookah hoses. Carefully untangle the twisted mass of hookah hoses and then rehook the hoses to create one long hose. It reminds you of Christmas time back home when you enjoyed untangling the Christmas lights and saying to yourself, "I get so much satisfaction from cleaning and straightening. One day, I'll be the best janitor ever." Well, at least one part of that dream came true. You are a janitor. You rehook the hoses to create one long one. Ah, the hookah hoses are now neatly connected. organic makeup makes exposure to spewing nitro most unwise. There is no market for Raj sickles. The nitro stops flowing.
So you're with Polysorbate Security, huh? Yeah, what can I get for you, Chief?
What have you got?
Well, aside from the obvious stuff which is glaring in your face from the back wall here, I do make some mixed drinks. I mean, if I do say so myself, I make a pretty mean William Gibson and a pretty good ass-em-off cocktail, you know what I mean, huh? Hey, I got you. Try a fuzzy toe jam. They seem to be pretty popular with your particular species here. I got just the thing for you guys. It's something I don't even give the regulars here. What do you think, huh?
Make me a double uvula spritzer. Twist a fleck rind, and I want it hacked and whipped, not like one of those shaken or stirred sissy drinks.
Okay, coming right up, Chief. Listen, this'll take a couple of minutes, but feast your eyes on the making of it, all right?
Oh, that's just fine. Take your time, my good man.
The refrigeration unit contains an ice cube tray and some chilled beverages, none of which looks very enticing to you. You have to be careful about what you consume in these universal spaceport bars. One creature's wine is another creature's bile, and vice versa. Just the same old chilled stuff. Yow! You quickly close that valve again. This one doesn't spew anything. With a flick of your very supple wrist, you pull the conduit loose from below the valve. Oops! Sorry, you can only break it. You aren't checked out in reconnection. The hookah hose is now attached to the leftmost conduit. You complete the connection between the two conduits. Nitro begins to flow through the tubing and into the conduit.
Frosta la Kista, baby.
Wow, it worked! This dude's in a deep freeze. But now, what are you going to do with him? The endodroid is frozen quite solid. It's a small section of pipe, not unlike those commonly found at ice skating accidents. It's a fairly heavy and solid piece of pipe. Cool. Laying a solid blow upside the head of this frigid felon has reduced him to cubes. Is not too hard to handle now. The endodroid is broken into nice little cube-sized pieces. You quite cleverly whisk the cubed culprit into your dustpan. It's going to be tough to carry him this way, though. It's your whisk broom and tray full of endodroid. Very good. He'll be much more transportable this way. However, you'd better hope it doesn't thaw. It looks vaguely like your hiney after it's been chewed out by your boss. You've found your way to the not-so-spiffy basement of the nightclub. Numerous stock items are stored down here. It's just your run-of-the-mill basement floor. It keeps you from slipping to the center of the planet. Guess it's doing its job. One small window once allowed light in from the outside. They're just some no-deposit empties. I don't know what comes down here, but these definitely have some sort of deposit. Kegs of Watney's, Red Dog, Samuel Adams. Excuse me, I need to wipe my chin. Cartons of really boring stuff like cocktail napkins and the like populate a good portion of the area down here. The endodroid's home surgery kit sits on the crate, but I suppose you can see that. They won't do you any good. They're made to run off the power supply of an endodroid, one of which you surely are not. Crates scattered around the basement hold bottles, both empty and full. By the looks of the dust, these are the least popular brands. I wonder if these spiders jump. Drat! It appears that the bartender disconnected your cleverly concocted hose link while you were gone. It's one of those Bjorn guys. It's so cute when they talk about assimilating everyone. Let's not, and say we did.
Hey!
He ignores you. Get used to it.
Here's your cubed compadre. Where's my 50 buckazoids?
No bull. You really got him, huh? I mean, good job.
Yeah, I really got him. And I could really use my 50 buckazoids.
Tell you what, I'll pay you when they pay me.
No, I need the money now. Or I let the guy thaw right here, right now.
No, just a minute. You don't want to do that. Hold on to your alimentary contents. I got it here. Here, you happy? I'll just be taking that tray. Been a special treat doing business with you.
Hold it right there, pal. You don't want to go in there. Trust me, it's not a pretty sight. But then, neither are you. Nonetheless, it's bad news in there, and I can't let you enter. So hit the pavement.
Hey! Say, you look familiar. Didn't I kick your butt in a huge robot once?
Oh yeah, that. I hope to forget that. It was the beginning of my undoing. I was a laughingstock around the company in the final days of Scumsoft. Oh well, if that hadn't gotten me, some of my other creative management techniques would have. In looking at the big picture, I suppose that arrangement left me with all my physical assets intact. Not a single other thing, unfortunately. I'm humiliated to admit that I have, on rare occasion, resorted to selling cheat sheets for arcade games. I've got to maintain a fairly, modest profile, I guess you could say. Time heals wounds and all that. Plus, maybe I can avoid a premature termination.
Wow. That's all very interesting. And very boring, if you don't mind my saying. What I want to know is, can you sell me a cheat sheet for Stooge Fighter 3?
Well, I think I may be able to facilitate that. I may have one in stock. Okay, here's what I need from you. A nice new bottle of Polysorbate brandy. If you can deliver that, I think we can call it a deal. My people, I'll be waiting to take delivery from you so that we can put a bow on this deal. Catch you later.
Hey!
I hope you're here to remit your portion of the business arrangement. We need to put this thing to bed. Otherwise, you should leave. I do have other contacts interested.
Hey!
Get out of my face or I'll puke on your boots.
Got the 20 there, Buster? Otherwise, you can swill thruster drippings with the rest of the deadbeats around here. I don't mean that in a bad way, mind you.
I'd like a bottle of your cold Saurian brandy, please.
Well, so you're interested in the good stuff, eh? I'll just take that 20. Thank you. I haven't sold much of this stuff lately, except for some sorry-looking little pud. Oh, hey, that reminds me. He still owes me some money. Oh, I can't believe I fell for that scam. Oh, well, enjoy. Sucker.
It's that cold Saurian brandy Elmo wanted. Yuck! It has a fish floating in the bottom. Oh well, to each their own. Roger, you're enough of a mess when you're straight. Getting a buzz will certainly not help.
What? What's the problem, Sonny? Having trouble with the bottle? Oh, yeah. Those highly complex twist tops can really boggle the mind, can't they? Just grab the bottle with one hand and twist the top with the other. You'll get the hang of it. Now, run along. I'm a real busy man.
Elmo has definitely taken a turn for the worse. You'd like to think it was your exit from the admittedly captive rank of that off-world sweat orb, Scumsoft Incorporated. It was probably something dumb like a compulsion for pet projects or personally beneficial programs over those things important to the company as a whole. Nah, that couldn't be it. Look at him. Do you really think that's a wise idea?
Yes! I mean, Mr. Wilco, I'm most pleased you've chosen to do business with us. You're just in time, too. I have another party on his way interested in the same item. Oh well, his loss. Well, I'll take that off your hands. Now, per our agreement, here's your cheat sheet. I'm certain you'll find the game much more interesting now. Also, you look like you could use this fish. Enjoy, Mr. Wilco. I have a real important business in another part of town. Be seeing ya. Oh, by the way, I'd appreciate if you'd not mention our meeting to anyone. Some of those purple-skulled old stockholders really hold a grudge, okay? Bye-bye.
He blows you off since your business has been completed. How corporate of him.
I told you the situation here, so beat it.
It's the Stooge Fighter 3 cheat sheet you got from Elmo.
To guarantee a win, the cheat sheet says, when at the choice screen, press the machine's letter buttons in the following order: A, B, B, A, C, A, C, A. Then, be aggressive and attack as much as possible using your new secret weapon. Hi, Mr. Jerkwad. How about another game of Stooge Fighter? I'm feeling a little luckier this time.
You know, kid, I'd really like to, but I need a little more of a challenge. Take a long walk off a short asteroid, okay?
What's the matter? Afraid a measly little pencil-necked low-life janitor and general waste of human life is going to embarrass you in front of your friends?
Well said.
Hold on there, you little puke! I'm not afraid of some puny little zit on the butt of the universe!
Jerkwad is a scaredy cat. Jerkwad is a scaredy cat.
All right, you little wad of spit, let's play. I'll waste you. Tell you what, let's make it interesting. If you win, I'll give you 300 buckazoids. However, if I win, you're mine to do with as I see fit. The deal? Oh, this is gonna be fun! Oh, you're a bit puny, but I'm sure I'll be able to get a few buckazoids for you over at the slave colony.
I'm sorry, I don't think I heard you quite right. Did you say slave colony?
Too late to back out, Borg breath.
I knew that.
Let's get ready to rumble!
go!
Big Mo wins the match.
How lucky can a guy get? That was pure luck. Gee!
Where's my money?
Here. Now, if I were you, I'd make myself scarce, you little lump of phlegm. Otherwise, I'm gonna lose my temper, and all that's gonna be left of you is teeth and toenails.
Okay, son, you just scribble your old Bill Shatner on the register screen and I'll get your key card. It's as fine a room as you'll find on this orb.
You have a brief moment of what you think is cleverness. You decide to wittily sign the name Franzel Neekberm.
Okay, here's your key card. Don't lose it. Room 1220J. Up the elevator. Franzel Neekberm. If I had a buckazoid for every time I'd seen that name, I'd be sitting pretty. I could afford one of those fancy fur-lined donut thingies that... What was I saying? Anyway, enjoy your stay. If you need anything, don't hesitate to tell someone.
Gee, thanks. Say, could you tell me where...
I'm a real busy guy, son. You got any questions, why don't you just go find the Chamber of Commerce and talk to them. I'm sure they'll be glad to help you out. Be seeing ya.
I'm sure he'd like that, but you'd better hang on to what you've got. You never know when you'll need it. He seems to be ignoring you. It's the hotel's not-so-elegant upstairs hallway. Great carpet. This is definitely no place to lose a contact lens. The window offers you a prime view of the baby spew brown skyline of Polysorbate 60. A sign in the hazy distance indicates the presence of some huge conglomerate. Can't read that one, but it does look like something you once read in a fortune cookie. Don't, you'll smudge the highly polished window. Yeah, right. Even you can clean a window better than that. It's the elevator you rode up in. The floor indicator lights above the elevator, while decorative, seem to serve no actual purpose. Since you've only seen this elevator go to one other floor, who's the art designer on this project anyway? Maybe they're supposed to look that way, but this plant looks like it was dead and buried a long time ago. One thing that does work here is the lighting. Too bad. This is one place you really don't want to see that well. They look more like cell doors than hotel room doors. It's kind of a Motel 3 meets Rikers look. They're as strong as they are tacky looking. You're not getting through one of those without an invitation. Looks like some loopy doofus tried to light their cigar with a phaser. Bet that wasn't a pretty sight. You have no real need for charred goods at this juncture. The crack maintenance crew must be tied up. This slot needs some work. Nothing you can do with this sucker. It's fried. It's the key card to your luxurious suite at the charming Dew Beam Inn. The room number is 1220J. Just as you're about to insert the key card so you can go inside and check out your new digs, you notice those two goony-looking dudes from the lobby walking in your direction at a rather deliberate pace. Perhaps they're going to welcome you to the place or show you where the ice machine is.
Hey there, pal. Got a second? Me and my friend here was wondering something.
Fire away. What did you want to know?
Well, we was wondering if you'd have any objection to us pounding you senseless. Grab 'em and let's get moving. I gotta report in soon. You puny little scumbag. I can't believe anyone would want you. One thing's for sure, you sure ain't gonna be seeing your home son ever again. Hey, Nigel, let's get back to it, huh? We got things to do and places to go. Now, just sit there and be still and be quiet, little man. I've got some things to finish before I finish you.
You have no idea where this place is, but it's nice to see that grunge has finally hit the interior decorating industry. The room seems to be vibrating very slightly. This would probably indicate a damping field in operation somewhere close by. Either that or someone downstairs is using a pro shiatsu. You get a jump on your senility by talking to inanimate objects now rather than in 50 years. It's a short-pile polystyrene rug with the ubiquitous "Have a Cyclopean Day" symbol. Clever. They're using an old video cable spool as a table. Gee, don't let any college kids hear about this. They'll all want to do it. That's one of those devices for catching wayward audio-video signals from distant galaxies. You once saw a horribly violent transmission on one of these where strange-looking aliens mercilessly struck each other in vulnerable areas while others looked on in enjoyment. It was called America's Funniest Home Videos, or something like that. Due to the planetary location of this unit, it can't keep a steady picture for very long. And as is universally known, the local cable company will get around to fixing it at their convenience. And who knows, you might get lucky and get another shopping channel or country western station in the process. They ripped off an alien crossing sign. How sophomoric. A beautiful thick shag carpet of Pelvis Brailsford, the rock and roll programming sensation, adorns the east wall of this grungy apartment. You struggle, but it's simply out of your grasp. Like algebra. This alien woman looks to be in very bad shape. Her pupils are fixed and dilated. Her body is stiff, almost as if she's dead. And her skin looks tight and puffy, as if bodily gases are building up inside her. Bandages and patches appear in profusion all over her, and some of her seams look like they're about to give way. You make a mental note to come back and rescue this poor woman. You can't reach her from here! Drat the luck!
Psst. Maybe if we work together, we can get out of here.
She doesn't respond. Perhaps she's a form of life you don't know how to communicate with. Or more likely, she's purposely ignoring you. Teddy Schmuckspin, a popular children's toy, sits on the floor. If you weren't a popular child, you didn't get one. This little unit is a portable dehumidifier. When you're a guy like Singent, who sweats like a bicranial crud snorter, you need one of these things going all the time. You don't see any way of turning the dehumidifier off. If you're trying to dry your mouth off, you could always just spit. How groovy! They've got... How groovy! They've got a neon sign for Spore beer. Spore yourself a tall, frosty one. It's the popular pin-up alien Krill McPherson, the one that poses all over Time Pods in Space Piston magazine. Just watch that McPherson strut. It's Cindy Crawfish, a beautiful merwoman and spokesmodel from one of those beach-strewn, wimpy, watery planets like Aquaria or Oceania or Wateria. It's Kathy Meyerland, an attractive model with gills from one of those stinky swamp-like planets like Modoria or Slimea or Muxalon 4. Sorry, but the posters have to stay. Besides, who needs posters you can't unroll the next day? It looks like the lead singer for that new death metal band, the Disgruntled Postal Workers. This symbol is all the rage among teenagers in the quadrant. None of the adults knows what it means, but it's shorthand for no sign of life. You don't know what that is, but you keep seeing it above people's garage doors. It must be some sort of anti-theft device. The desk looks rubbery and flimsy. It must be one of those floppy desks. This is the data corder you got from that endodroid hunter dude. You're tied up, hence you can't do that. Surprisingly, it's a pile of books. Who'd have thought these guys could read? There seems to be a small pile of CD-ROMs sitting here. Your captors have obviously been drinking mass quantities of that new imported beer, Tecate Wormhole. You can't reach the can in your present predicament. Even if you were loose, you wouldn't want to swap spit with a can of Alan Dean Foster's. This optical disc-based multimedia entertainment system has a slew of powerful graphics and audio coprocessors. A unique flexible architecture, is extremely high-priced, and plays a half-dozen really bad arcade games. It's called a 3DOA. The computer isn't very sophisticated and does not respond to voice commands. It's one of those wads of lard you ran into at the inn. What do you want to do? Give him a nice massage? Wise up. This guy values you less than Starcon does. What are you going to talk to him about? The weather? There is a massive door leading into the next room. You're reasonably certain that this door won't budge without a key card of some sort.
Hey, open her up and let's jam.
Yeah, right, like that'll work. You've been kidnapped, remember? This keypad undoubtedly controls the doorway. It's apparently programmed to be locked, perhaps to prevent unauthorized entry. It's the key ring that doofus hung on the wall after the other doofus left.
Hey, what the fu- I don't want to see you move another inch or I'm gonna slice you into nice little bite-sized pieces. Now, can it?
A nail protrudes from the wall. How novel. You are now a proud nail owner.
That's the keyring nail I got from the wall.
Good thinking. The nail proves to be just what you needed to free yourself from those handcuffs. Don't get all excited, Little Red Riding Hood. You aren't out of those woods yet. Her skin feels puffy and rubbery, as if her internal body pressure has risen. It must be Regalian bladderwort fever.
I'd better not try it. He might see me.
It's that static-laden, cheapo polystyrene rug you ripped from the wall. You carefully lay the rug on the floor. Even though you were never known for your interior decorating talents, you feel very satisfied with the location you have chosen. The pelvis rug is arranged nicely on the floor. Your body is now carrying a nice static charge. Wow, the static energy you built up discharged, frying Lard Boy's circuitry. Did you actually think of that, or was it just luck? It wouldn't be prudent to do that at this juncture. It's a burlesque Mahdi. You now possess the Mahdi. Your search through the CDs reveals a bunch of typically boring multimedia magazines. A multimedia phone book. Too bad there aren't any phones around here. The Outpost Project Survival Guide. Successful People Managing Techniques by Carm Trebus. Funny, it's empty. MF-DOS for idiots, morons, and phoebes. Turing Xenon on 5 buckazoids a day. Discovering your inner maggot. How to become assigned to being a corporate creative genius without really trying. This might be worth checking out. It's a copy of Popular Tektronix. You should have paid attention the first time. This game's budget is way too small to allow me to list all those titles over again. Way too disgusting. This button ejects whatever CD is in the machine, thus the clever naming convention. This button allows you to go to a given location on the CD. This button is designed to print what is on the screen. Too bad it doesn't work. It's a somewhat damaged CD-ROM disc. Smooth move. You've got his keyring. It's that Lard Master's keyring.
Well, 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 the worm is out of the hole. So, you have to ask yourself, do I feel lucky? Well, do I, punk?
It's the one called Nigel, the larger of the two mass-laden brothers.
Go away.
Boy, this terrace is a nice change from the stink-laden confines of that apartment.
The cityscape stretches like an immense pestilent rash across the puckered, festering face of Polysorbate 60.
Ah, pretty.
This appears to be a damping field controller unit. At least it looks like most of the other damping field controller units you've ever seen, and you've seen quite a few. Yeah, you reach through that damping field and you'll draw back a dripping wad of demolecularized flesh. It does look pretty cool, though. Maybe when we have more time, we can come back and try it. Delicious! The archway glows with the energy of a damping field. No wonder it's so humid in here. This appears to be some sort of control room. There's a landing platform beyond the damping field induction coils in the archway. This controller controls the controls on the subspace neurotransmitter.
Jeez, is this guy a control freak or what?
There is nothing wrong with a subspace neurotransmitter controller. Do not attempt to adjust the controller. We are controlling transmission. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can change your mind to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. A massive subspace neurotransmitter fills the desk. Amplified by brainwave patterns, neurotransmissions are not affected by local damping fields. But you already knew that, right? Unfortunately, your brainwave patterns are far too puny to benefit from even this unit's powerful positronic amplifiers. A small decorative novelty lamp displays bolts of electronic discharge. They were quite the rage a century or two ago. Another one of those formerly trendy bolt discharge lamps sits on the console top. This monoamine oxidase inhibitor brightens up an otherwise depressing room. You know the old saying, if the monoamine oxidase inhibitor ain't broke, don't fix it. As if you could anyway. Wow, that's a signed poster of the lead singer for that country western band, Paul and Az. It's just another picture of a heavenly body. You've never been a big CW fan. In fact, it is your belief that country and western music was outlawed hundreds of years ago in an attempt to reduce alcoholism. Don't remove this poster. It's covering up a mistake in the background painting. The carton is full of spare parts and tools to keep the subspace neurotransmitter in operation. An acetylcholine torch, a bunch of axon terminals, a cell receptor, and a new package of postsynaptic membranes. Warning to phenylketonurics, contains phenylalanine. You poke around and look for something useful, but since you're not exactly Mr. Subspace Neurotransmitter Repair Guy, none of it appeals to you. This box is full of daddies. Daddies are modules which, when inserted into intercranial slots, give the user complete knowledge of whatever topic is programmed into that particular daddy. You rummage around in the box to look for something useful, but all you find is an almost complete set of line dancing in zero-G daddies. Only Volume 2, The Achy Breaky, appears to be missing. A box of moddies, behavioral modification, Euro circuit chips, lies under the desk. You poke and prod amongst the moddies until you find a moddy labeled churlish. Being intrigued by the word, you glom it. Incidentally, you might want to look up the word churlish before you do anything stupid. It's a burlesque moddy. That label won't come off.
That's the churlish moddy I found in that box.
The corner of the label in this moddy seems to be loose. Thinking it was the churlish moddy, he pops it in place.